Hi everybody, welcome to Scotch Kitchen. Another Sunday. Oh, my eyes is really red. Another Sunday, another day. I'm just trying to adjust the camera so that you can be able to see what I'm preparing properly. Okay, I think that's better. Welcome to Scotch Kitchen again. I know it's been long, but here we are. So today we're going to prepare some fish curry with white rice. With a hint of coconut cream. And we're going to have some steamed vegetable as well. I'm going to go through my ingredients in a second, and then we're going to go straight through and start preparing the meal because it is our dinner, right? So if you bear with me 1 second, I'll just go on my phone and put it on so that I can be able to welcome everybody else who's coming in, who's joining in today. Just bear with me 1 second. And I have to turn down the volume, otherwise all I'll be hearing is my myself talking. You just bear with me 1 second. Okay, so daisy. Okay, I think that should be okay. I'll just place my phone there and hopefully I'll be able to see guys as they come in and I'll welcome you. If not, don't worry, I will definitely get back to the comments later as time goes by. I'll just open the door because it's a bit warm in here. It's warm in here, but it's freezing cold out there. Today we're not that cold, but it's actually okay compared to the past 2 days. So today we're about 1 degree, so that's not bad. That's actually okay. So let's get on with everything. So I will just go ahead and show you what I have right in front of me, and then we can go on. So I have here mixed vegetables. I put them in a pan because I want to steam them up. So we have some carrots, sweet corn, French peas. So carrots, sweet corn, and French peas, and we're going to boil this up. You can steam them up and add a little bit of butter or just a sprinkle of like olive oil. I'll show you the oils I'm going to use, and that's it. It's going to be ready to serve. So that's our vegetable. I just put it on the side. By the way, this meal cooks really quick, which is really amazing. And then again, this is a very good meal for vegetarians. So if for people who don't eat meat, basically, you can be able to eat fish. You can be able to eat the rice as well, and just with the vegetable, it goes well as well. So I've shown you that. So I'm going to do different types of fish today. I'm not only doing one type of fish. So the types of fish, this is like haddock. So it's a haddock fillet. I hope you're able to see. I'll just lift my plate up a little bit, and there you go. So we have some haddock fillet. I have like a bar of how do you call it? A salmon fish, and then I have some 2 tins of anchovies. Anchovies, they are almost like they're tiny fish. They are very rich in taste. They're a bit bitter, but they're actually really good. I've realized this, so many African countries and also like Asian countries, they tend to use anchovies. And what they do, I'm just showing you how it looks like and I'm talking at the same time. What it does, they add it into meals and stuff, and it gives it a bit of a kick, and it gives it a really like a nice texture and taste in it. So for example, if you cooking, because I'm going to just blend some of it and I'm just going to cook some of it with the fish as well, which you're going to see, you won't miss that out. You don't have to use just fish. When Ghanaians are normally making jollof rice, and they normally put a little bit of that because most of the time the anchovies they use is dried and grated, so it's like a powdery form, and it's almost like a sauce of it's a spice, but it looks like a powdery. And I've realized most of the people just use it, they add it onto food and to make the food taste really well. Okay. So So we have our anchovies there, we have our salmon, and we have our haddock. Then for the spices, oh sorry, I have some rice here. I've just put it in a bowl, ready to go. And then today I am using garlic infused oil. So garlic infused with olive oil. And then I'm also using some coconut, ground coconut oil. And also I am going to just use a little bit hint of some, my normally chili infused garlic oil. Yeah, has a bit of chili at the bottom. You can be able to achieve all these different types of oil with that. For example, this one that has chili. So you just need some chili flakes and you need olive oil, pure olive oil. Mix that together and you'll have your garlic infused chili oil. That's as easy as that, okay? So the other things I'm going to use today, I have some Greek yogurt. So that's also what I'm going to use on my curry to make my curry really nice and thick. What I'm doing now, you can do it a day before and you season your food and it's ready to cook so that the spices are going to be really nice and rich in your fish when you wish to. Okay, so for my spices, and I have 2 fresh tomatoes and I have 2 white onions and I also have half a tin of tomato. So that's chopped tomatoes, half a tin. Then, so for my spices, I have some paprika, never misses on Scotch Kitchen. Today I'm trying to be really nice and I'm trying to be really professional. Put them in like my small bowl. So I have 2 teaspoons of paprika. Then I have 3 teaspoons of fish masala. That's curry powder. Then I have 3 teaspoons of fish masala. And then I have mixed herbs and parsley, yeah, on here. So that's what I'm also using for my spice. I have garlic. I have some garlic here, which you're going to grind together with the onions and all the rest of the spices to just heat up the food. And then I have here, it's just a bar of coconut. So you can either use a bar of coconut, you can use coconut cream, you can basically make the coconut from scratch and you should be able to achieve that little taste. We need this coconut on our rice, yeah, so that you can have that lovely taste in it. So it's not really, pardon me, you just need a little bit of it. Just bear with me 1 second, I wash my hands really quick and then we can start. I'm sure, yes, I've shown you guys everything we need. So what I'm going to do, first things first, I'm going to start with the rice. So when the rice is cooking, and then I'm going to go straight and start doing the fish. Midway while cooking the fish, I'm going to start steaming up the vegetables so that everything can cook they can cook almost at the same time, but our rice on this meal cooks longer than our fish and our vegetables. So I want to finish everything together so that I don't have to wait for something else to cook before the other. So let's start with our rice. And just bear with me 1 second, I'll move this on the side. That's going to be for our fish. So you need your bowl or your pan, not a bowl, that's a pan. And then you need some oil. And for my rice, I'm going to use some ground coconut oil. That's what I'm going to use for my rice. You don't have to use your groundnut oil. You don't have to use that. You can use any oil you wish, because we remember in Scotch Kitchen you use what you have in your kitchen. So you just use any oil you wish. But if not, if you can find some groundnut oil, that's what I was trying to say, not coconut. Groundnut oil. If you can find some groundnut oil, good to go. So we're going to have some groundnut oil going in there, and then we're going to go with our rice. I'm going to put my coconut cream, a little bit of salt, and I'm going to just a sprinkle of mixed spices, and then that's it. And then I'm going to cover that on the side and let it cook then. Then we're going to go on and start preparing the fish, because it's going to be a little bit, taking a little bit of our time because I've not done all the preparations of like mixing the spices. Okay, let's go and get on with it. So let me turn on my hob. Come on. There you go. That's it. Okay, so turn up your hob and get your oil. It depends how much oil you're using. I'm going to use about 3 tablespoons of my groundnut oil. You can use less, you can use more. It's up to you what you want to use. But for me, that's what I'm using today. Should have opened this earlier, isn't it? There you go. Patience pays. So, okay. My oil in. Nice. So I'm going to let that heat up properly, and then I'm going to go straight with my coconut oil, and I'm going to go a bit with my salt and my mixed spices. Whoopsie daisy. With my mixed spices. That's the mixed spices I'm going to use today. Hi Liz, thank you my lovely for joining. Hi Eva, thank you my lovely for joining. Unfortunately I have to come this way because I can't be able to see any comments on my phone. So I have to come like that close to be able to see you. But guys, don't worry. If I don't say hi, know that I'm not seeing you. I'll definitely respond to you after the video. For now, let's concentrate and do this, right? Okay, so our oil is heating up there, and then the next thing you want to do, wash your rice, drain your rice. Make sure that when you're cooking your rice, you can wash it, drain it at least 20 to 30 minutes prior, and then it is ready to go. So my rice is actually ready to go here, so I'm not going to do the washing and all the stuff now. That's what you do before you actually do this process. So when you're putting in your rice is nice and dry, and that's what you need. So I'm going to go in with my rice. I'm using 2 1/4 of just a normal mug. That's the mug I'm using, and I am going to add 5 cups of 5 cups of water onto my rice when I'm actually adding the water on. So you need to mix up your rice together. We need to turn down our heat a little bit. We don't need our heat really high because anyhow I'm still going to move my rice to the other side of the hob because I need it to cook. Remember, you want your rice to cook in and out, not out and in. Because if it cooks out and in, that means it's not going to be ready. By the time it has cooked outside, the water that we've used is going to be completely gone on there. So that means the inside bit of the rice is not going to be ready. So you remember to turn that heat down so that your rice can cook from inside to out rather than the opposite way. Okay? So I'm sorry guys, I have to shut today because you can hear my dryer going round on the background, but just ignore our lovely tune on the background. Let's concentrate on this, right? So, next, mix up your rice together, and then take your bar of coconut, or if you have your coconut cream, now is the time to add your coconut cream onto your rice. And just mix that up together because my bar is just like a proper bar. It's going to melt as my rice is cooking. Mix up that together. Take a sprinkle of your mixed spices. You need about half a teaspoon of that, and just sprinkle a little bit of that. And this just gives the rice a bit of texture and taste. And you need to sprinkle some salt in there. Again, the salt is an option. If the people you're cooking for, or you don't like salt in your food, you don't have to do the process I've just done of adding the salt. You can just go ahead and cook your rice without doing the salt bit, right? Okay, let's mix that up. So, spread that a little bit and let that cook for a second while we get our foil pepper. That's what I'm getting there. So I'm going to cover this up with some foil pepper in a second after I've added my water, yeah? So for now, I'm just going to get my bowl and I'm going to get my cup, jar of water. If you want to use warm water, fair enough, you can do that. Don't use cold water. I'm just using lukewarm water directly from my tap up to into there. So just bear with me 1 second, I get my water ready. And remember, as we said, we need about 5, or you can go for 4.5 cups of water, because we have actually cooked 2 1/4 2¼ cups of rice. So there's my water ready to go. It's really, really warm in here. Sorry guys, I'm just turning off the heating as well because it's been really cold down here. The whole, like, since Thursday we've been having like minus whatever temperatures, and now it's gone really nice and warm. Everything is melting outside, but now it's really warm in here because I think my cooker is on, the dryer is on, everything is happening. And I'm also getting really excited about everything. So let's go back to here now. The next step you want to do, you want to add your water. So I'm going to go ahead and add my lovely water in there. Give it a little bit of a stir and just make sure all the rice that is stuck inside on the side of your pan, just make sure all that rice is nicely spread and it is definitely under the water. So now this is the step where I was running about to get my foil paper. We're going to cover our rice and then I'm going to move it on the side on low heat. While our rice is cooking, we get on with other stuff, right? Okay? Depending with how big your pan is, it will depend how much you will use with your foil to cover your pan. The main reason why I'm using foil paper is I want my rice to cook really nice and slowly, not only using the heat because I'm going to reduce the temperature, the heat, the temperature down there. I want it to cook with very minimal temperature, very low heat, and the foil paper is going to help in storing that the foil paper is going to help in storing the heat inside there for the rice to cook really nice and easily. That's why I'm using my foil paper. So let's cover this up completely and then we move it because I don't want my rice to start cooking quick because we are still in the high heat because my middle hob has very high heat. But the other one doesn't. It's a smaller one. So make sure you cover all the pot with your foil paper completely. We're not done yet because the next step, you want to take your cover and you want to cover your pot and make sure you've completely covered that so that there's no air space whatsoever, right? Next step, this time I bet you're using the same hob, let's imagine. Just turn down your heat very, very low and make sure your rice is cooking slowly, right? That is done. So the next thing, I'm just going to turn this off for a second because now we're going to go to the process where I start preparing the fish and what we need. I am not cooking my mixed vegetables again. So we have baby carrots, we have sweet corns, and we have French peas. I'm not cooking that yet. I'm going to put it there for a second. And let's start preparing what we are using. So we're going to start preparing our paste because the fish needs a paste. So I have like one of these cups that I normally use with my mixer. So again, if you don't have a mixer, this is the time for you to get your blender or your hand blender or your normal blender so that you can go on and blend through the spices that we're going to use. I am moving these things on this other side so that you guys can be able to see what I'm using exactly and what I am mixing. Right? So just bear with me 1 second. Okay. First things first, you need your garlic. So I've just used like a whole clove of garlic. You need that in the pan, no, in a cup or in your blender, whatever you're going to use. Then we're going to need our onion. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to go with very big chunks of onion because that's what we need. Just bear with me 1 second. When you're using your chopping board, to stop your chopping board from moving when you're actually using it, especially when you're using it on like a clear kitchen surface, you can just get a kitchen cloth, the way I'm doing now, and just put that under, and that helps. It gives the chopping board like a grip So it actually helps the chopping board not to move when you're actually doing your business. So we've done that, which is great. So that's going to help us. You don't need a massive kitchen towel. You just need any type of kitchen towel you have. Again, remember, we're using what we have. So that has actually helped. So that is not moving as much as the way it was moving initially. So with my onions, I'm going to go really, really massive big chunks, because it's going to go there to be blended together. So again, to make it easier, just nice big chunks, and that goes in here. So this is our paste that we're going to use with our curry, right? That's why we need it like that. So you remember, it's 2 white onions we need. So we've got some garlic going in there. We have our 2 white onions going in there. I'm going to put in some of 1 tin of that anchovies in there as well, and I'm going to blend that together, and then I'm going to put some spices as well to go in there. So it's going to be really nice, and it's going to have a very nice texture, and apart from the texture, the scent that's going to come out from there is going to be really, really lovely because of all the spices that I'm going to be using, which are again fish masala, curry powder, paprika, and mixed herbs, and parsley. That's the spices I'm using today. Okay, that is full up, which is okay, and I have 2. So I'm going to use the other one on these other ones. Really prepared today, not a joke. So what I'm going to do next, what I'm going to do, just give me 1 second. Let me put some anchovies. So we have garlic, onion, and I'm putting in my anchovies. So that's my anchovies, and they're going straight in here. They're going to be blended in together with there. We will realize with the anchovies, especially like the tin one you normally use, it's really, really nice and oily. So we want all that juice in here. We don't want to get rid of this juice. It's really, really important, because that's the oil that comes with the fish itself. We need that. That's really nice and healthy. We really, really need that. So don't get rid of that, right? I'm using 1 tin for now. I am going to use the other tin when it comes to, when it comes to actually cooking the food itself. So that's number 1. So I'm going to add some of these spices in here. They'll all go in, don't worry, but I want to do it in bits, right? And I am going to bring this mother here. I have to put these anchovies next to the others because it's really oily and it is messing up the surface there. Okay, so we have garlic, we have onions, we have anchovies, then we have curry powder, we have fish masala, mixed spices, paprika going in this jar. So remember, you're using a blender, hand blender, wherever blender you're using, something to actually use to mix this up. Put that together, blend it up. So if you realize it is really, really, it's not going to liquefy, or it's not going to blend properly. So I'm going to just add a little bit, a hint of water in here to help with the blending, right? So they can make it easier for us. So just bear with me 1 second. There you go. That should be okay. Blend so far. That's the first one. What I'm going to do next, I am just going to go straight and add my other portion of onions that was left on the side, and then I am going to go ahead and add that tomatoes. some of those tomatoes, and I am going to go ahead and add the rest of my spices. Give it a bit of a shake. If it's a small portion like what I have here, just give it a bit of a shake and keep on adding as much as you can, yeah? Because this is that is the process that actually we're going to, this is now the most difficult process of mixing all this. If you don't have a blender, I'm sure you have a mortar and a paste, and you can just use a mortar and paste and crush this, because the whole idea of this, we want this as smooth as possible. So when it comes to actually cooking the curry, it's much easier. Again, it's gone really thick, so brought in some water to go there, and I am going to add there. It's not bad to add your water on this, because again, it is just spices we're going to use in a second, so it's not a biggie when you're adding water in. So don't feel any guilty when you're adding any water in. So the next part, remember, I still have their fresh tomatoes in there. I am just giving my board a bit of a rinse before I go on. Just give me 1 second, guys. I'm opening another bunch of kitchen towel because the one I was using there is actually finished, because I need it. Massive. Come on, you can fit in there. There you go. That's better. Okay, so back to here. So we have our tomatoes, our fresh tomatoes. Make sure you wash them. And again, we need big chunks of this, because again, we're just going to blend this onto your blender or to your mixer, wherever you're going to use. If you don't have a blender or a mixer, when it comes to tomatoes like this, what you need to do to be able to achieve that consistency of like a sort of mashed or smooth paste of your tomatoes, you need to boil your tomatoes, and then when the water is really hot, you need to peel the tomatoes, and then you just crush them, or you just use again a mortar and a paste, and you just go on and crush them, and you're going to achieve that pasty. Nice and easy. So again, you don't really need to have a blender to be able to achieve this lovely fish masala. Okay, so let's get on with it quickly, because our rice is actually cooking really well. I'm going to check on it in a second, not yet though. Yeah, so let's leave it to cook for a few more minutes before I actually check on it. So tomatoes done. I'm putting them in here first with the rest, and then they're going to go in here. Should have just done that, isn't it? That doesn't make a big difference actually. So put all the tomatoes in your hand mix or your blender again, because we're going to do again the same process that we did with the other one. Squeeze it in, and rinse off the sides if you can. Wipe them off so that these can not have any water whatsoever, because we are using electricity. You don't want to be electrocuted, do you? So just wipe that off, and I am going to push that to the side because I don't need it there anymore. And I'm going to go on. Oh, before I do that, I have some of my spices here left going in there. My rice is actually cooking. I can see that because I can see my foil paper going, the movement of my foil paper. Okay, let's blend this. Done. Come on, out of the way. We don't need this anymore. I am going to put it on the side. Oops, my nose is itching. Okay, that's done. And we don't need this anymore as well. I'm just gonna move this out of our lovely surface. We don't need these tiny things anymore here. Put them on the side as well. And back to. So now we finished preparing our spices. So we have two. That's just fresh tomatoes, and that is made of our spices, which is garlic, onion, parsley, mixed spices, paprika, fish masala, and curry powder. I nailed that. So that's all we have here. Ooh, and anchovies. I forgot about that. So next thing now is to actually start preparing our meal. Woo, my nose is really, really itching. I don't know why. And it is going to itch some more because when I actually put these spices on to start cooking, it's going, I mean, if you like chili, this is the time to add your chili onto here. I'm not adding any chili today because the boys requested not to have chili today. So I'm not adding any chili there. Okay? So, because I'm ready to start preparing my fish, I'm also ready to start preparing my vegetable. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to put this here and I'm going to turn the hob for my vegetables to actually start cooking as well. That's not a good idea. I'm going to put the fish there instead, and I'm going to turn you at this farthest end. Okay, there you go. So, next step is my fish. So let's get our pan. Get our pan, lovely and empty, ready to go. And we're going to turn on our hob. Oh, spot on. Okay, so next thing, let's have that really nice and hot. And then I am going to use my garlic infused olive oil. I need about 2 tablespoons onto my pan, and I want it really, really hot. I don't need any more than that. I just need exactly 2. And the main reason why I only need 2, we're cooking fish. The anchovies are really, really oily. They already have enough fish. I'm trying to think of the name, not the cod, the other one. The salmon is also having a bit of oil, so I don't want to fog the fish with so much oil. Right, so let's get on with it. So I'm going to add my 2 tablespoons of oil in here. Just to make sure my pan is really nicely oiled. And I want it to be really, really hot. And the main reason why I want it to be really, really hot, when I start putting in my spices there, the aroma is going to kick in really, really nice and quick. And then when it is really nice and quick and it's bubbling away, and that's when we're going to add our fish. Meanwhile, let's check how our rice is getting on. Be very careful again when you are doing now what I'm about to do, because remember, the foil paper is actually trying to help contain all the steam around there. You need to be very careful when you're actually opening this, because the steam from there can actually burn you. So be very, very careful when you're doing that process. So you can open it in bits, because all you want to do now is just check on it, right? Woo! It's actually cooking really well. Spot on. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to show you guys how it actually looks. Let me put this down here. And I'm going to take my fork. This is how it looks so far. Whoa! It's actually heavy. That's very weird. So that's how it looks. So that means it's still cooking. It's not done yet. And as you can see on the side, my spice is actually on the side. That's the main reason why I've actually opened it. So what I want to do now, I want to just give my rice a mix so that my spice, and remember we used the coconut bar. This is the time where the coconut bar is actually melted in there, and you want to spread the joys of this coconut cream all over your rice. And that now is the best time to actually do it. So I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to cover this again because my rice is not done yet. So this is just like a mini process to make sure everything is cooking well. Get the same foil paper. And we want to cover our rice. Our oil is really, really hot. That's why you see I'm trying to duck it. Again, just cover your rice. Woo. And get your cover. And that goes in there. Turn your heat lower than the way it was and let that cook. Let's go in with our spices. Our oil is really, really hot. It's smoking hot, which is good. And this is the reason why I wanted it to be smoking hot. That is the reason. You heard the shimmering or the how hot that oil is, and that's exactly why I wanted to do that now. So, not losing any of this lovely spice. The aroma that's coming out of this spice is amazing. Really, really amazing. Mix that up. You can somehow start smelling the anchovy, because it's, remember I told you anchovies is very, very strong, so you can smell that aroma of anchovy already, even though it's being overpowered. It's being overpowered with the garlic, the mixed spices that's already in there, but still, that's amazing, because that's exactly what you want. So it just looks like a proper thick paste, as you can see there. It looks like a proper thick paste, and that's what you want. So we're going to leave this to cook for a few minutes, and I mean just maybe a minute. And not adding any salt on this because I can taste some salt on this already. So, and that is because of the spices that I use. Remember, I use the curry powder, I use the fish masala, and then I use the mixed, the mix which is parsley, and the mixed herbs as well. So all those spices are very salty already, so I'm not going to add any salt onto this. Again, I've already added some salt here, and I'm going to sprinkle a little bit of salt on my vegetables, and when I'm adding a little bit of olive oil on there, so I don't really need to add any more oil, salt on here. Get your mixture, your tomato paste, and that is going in there as well. It's really a nice thick paste. We're not finished with the paste. I know you're wondering, okay, so when is our yogurt going in? The yogurt is going to go in as well in a second. And our yogurt also helps with actually binding this curry together. Normally when they actually, you see the spice that I've just done on blended here. When you're doing any other curry, you can do that maybe a night before. Let's imagine if you're doing chicken curry. You do that spice and then you add your yogurt. Mix that together. The main reason why you can use yogurt, some other people use double cream or they just use cream. So the yogurt is replacing the creams, yeah? Because again, our fish is very oily and you don't want to add some more oil onto whatever is oily again. So let's imagine we're cooking our chicken curry instead. Do the spice the night before and then blend it together, add your yogurt, put it in a bowl, put your chicken in there, and mix that up together. Get a film paper, cover that, and put it below, under the fridge. So basically on your shelves or the fridge, just put it below. And leave it there for 24 hours. Then you come and do this process the next day. Now the difference is going to be the next day, remember your chicken is already in your paste. So the next day you come, you remove the pieces of chicken from the paste. So you separate the two. Then you cook your spices separately, and then later that's when you go ahead and add your chicken. So today we are doing it straight. We've done our spices, going to do our fish. So our fish is going to go in here after the yogurt. And then we're going to add a little bit of water and cover that up and let it cook. Because again, this type of fish we are cooking does not take long at all to actually cook. So our spices are really, really nice and strong. So the next thing we're going to go is we're going to start with our yogurt. So this is full fat Greek yogurt. Lovely. That's what I'm using. You can use any natural yogurt you can find. Don't use strawberry yogurt, please. Don't use any flavored yogurt. You need natural yogurt, because natural yogurt is just plain yogurt. So I am going to go in with 3 tablespoons. So 3 tablespoons over natural yogurt. If you don't want to use yogurt, you want to go proper for the traditional curry, you can go ahead and put only 1.5 tablespoons of 1.5 tablespoons of the double cream. So you just reduce the amount again, because yogurt is a nice good option for instead of the cream. That's why I've just gone for 3. Just show you how so far it looks like. So this is how it looks like. I hope you're able to see that. So I'm going to mix through my yogurt onto here before I actually put my fish in there. Just mix that nicely. You can have this again, you can put some vegetables. Let's imagine you don't want to have your fish curry, you don't have your chicken curry, you have your vegetable like that, they've steamed up for a few minutes, drain the water and just chuck them in there. And there you will have your lovely vegetable curry. It's nice and easy. As long as you've made that paste, you can use that paste for anything you wish to. Anything whatsoever you wish to, you can be able to use that paste for. Okay, the next thing, I am going to go ahead and add just a little bit of water in here so that I don't waste any of my spices. It's bubbling, which is great. Just gonna mix that up. Nice one, that's done. This is completely gone. There's nothing in there. I don't need any more water on my curry. Oh, it looks really, really nice and amazing. Gonna give it a bit of a taste. My vegetables are bubbling up. It's ready to go. What I mean by ready to go is it's now ready. My spice is cooked well, and I'm ready to put my fish in there. So let's start with our anchovies. So I'm gonna go straight with my lovely, the stew or the oil. And what I'm going to go next and do, because I want my anchovies all over my curry, I am going to go and peel each and every slice, because again, anchovies are just like tiny fish that have been put nicely inside that tea. So if this was like a spice, I will just go straight and sprinkle it around. Then next, oh, it's still some more there. Next, I am going to go with my prawn, and I am going to go with my fillets. That's next. Just one at a time. My vegetable is actually cooked. That's okay. One at a time in there. And again, this fillet doesn't take too long to cook. Doesn't take too long to cook. So I have to be really, really observant with this, because I want my fillet whole. I don't want my fillet crushed. Just cover your fish, your wherever you're going, your curry, the curry that you're cooking. So cover all that lovely meat or vegetable with that sauce, so that it doesn't look as if there's anything inside there. All you can see is just your sauce, right? My vegetable has actually cooked. So what I'm going to do next, What I'm going to do next is I'm going to drain my vegetables. I'm going to turn off that heat because my vegetables are actually cooked. And this is what I normally do. So, boiled up my vegetables. You've just seen that it's nice and smoking and steaming. Get your sprinkle of salt. Add your salt. Then, because normally sometimes you drain it off and then that's when you add your butter or you add your oil. No, I'm doing it before. So I am using olive oil infused with chili, and that's what I'm using. So I'm gonna sprinkle. I just need a that's just maybe 1.5 teaspoons. That is one, this tiny one, 1.5 teaspoons of olive oil have gone inside here, which is amazing. And I'm going to leave this here just for a minute, just a minute. So I'm just gonna give this a lovely mix. Leave that for a minute. Meanwhile, when I'm leaving that for a minute, I'm going to cover my curry and I'm gonna turn off my heat for my rice. The main reason why I'm turning off the heat for my rice is I want my rice to now cook only with the steam. The steam that has been conserved with our foil paper. And I'm just going to leave that there, prepare my surface because soon we're going to be ready to actually serve this meal. So I'm going to start preparing here, and as you've realized, I've turned off my rice, ready to go. I've put my oil onto my vegetables. I want them to be there for a minute or two, and then I'm going to drain that. So our fish, which is our curry fish, is also cooking here really nice. So by the time I do all this preparation, it's actually going to be ready to go and ready to serve. So let's get on with it. Doesn't take long. Doesn't take long at all. Right? Because again, our surface is not really messy. Our surface is not really messy. So I'm going to actually do a serving. Just getting off my plate. Just clean that up. I don't need my yogurt. Today my nose is really itchy. I don't understand why. I'm not having a cold, or I'm not catching a cold, but my nose is just itchy, which is okay. Okay, putting a little bit of some serviette here, and I'm putting my knife and fork here. And then, so if you just bear with me 1 second, I know what I'm going to get. Let me get a proper serviette. That's nice, Tyler. You have to know this as a winner and a loser. Okay. I just want to bring one of these so that we can do it properly. So I can just go all the way and actually do it properly rather than doing it halfway. Because I just wanted to use one of my kitchen towels, which is okay. You don't have to use a serviette if you don't have one. You can just go ahead and you can use a kitchen towel. Just fold it nicely and you're ready to go. Okay, less talking, more doing. Let's drain our vegetable. Woo. Let's drain our vegetable. And that's all vegetable. Woo, nice and steaming. As you can see that, you can see it's a bit nice and oily, and that is from our sprinkle of olive oil that we've just actually added there. Vegetable is done. Our rice is also steaming up there. What? Yes, they're done. It's all already dried there. Just give me 1 second. Just leave it for a second. Okay, sorry about that, guys. Okay, so let's not forget we have our fish there, and we don't want our fish to actually be like porridge. So I am going to go ahead, and remember, by the way, I forgot to tell you this, when you're doing this process, you cannot afford to tan your fish. You don't actually, when you're cooking fish, because fish is very, very delicate, the meat is really, really delicate. When you're cooking fish, just make sure, like if you're putting some stew or you're putting a sauce, just make sure that sauce covers the fish so that the fish can cook all round. Because the problem of, like, when you're cooking fish and then when it's about to get ready, you go and turn it around like that, you're going to have your fish in pieces. That's the reason why I was telling you guys, when I was cooking this, I just made sure that all my spices and flavors are above the fish, and that is the reason why. Let me shock you, my fish is definitely done, because again, I've said it cooks really, really quick. So this is done. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to turn off the heat, leave that to simmer for a few seconds, and while that's simmering for a few seconds, I am going to go ahead and show you my rice. So our rice is nicely done. Okay, when you're doing the foil paper, just remember, I've just explained to you that the steam that's coming out from the rice can actually burn you. So you have to be very, very careful when you're doing that. I'm actually trying to find space to put that. That's why you're seeing me going around with that. Okay, our rice is done. I'm going to show you guys how it looks. And this is our lovely rice. As you can see, it looks amazing. It definitely looks amazing. And I'm sure it's going to be delicious. It looks really yummy. So, I am going to show you guys the secret of what they do. Remember, we're always learning something in Scotch Kitchen. So today I'm going to teach you guys how to do your serving. So you do like a lovely presentation on your serving, so that when you're putting it on the table, even if it's at home, they're like, whoa, we are having like a five-star treatment today. So, yes, this is just a cup, and this is from a flask. You can use any type of cup you wish. You can use a small bowl. You can actually use any type of something deep. So a bowl, a cup, it's a plastic cup. It's not a good idea to use the same type of material as what your plate, because you can break your plate and you don't want that. So what we're going to do, I'm going to put, so you put a little bit of water so that inside there it's nice and moist. Remember, our rice is cooked, so it's really nice and bubbly, and that's what we want. We really want our rice really hot, and that is what we have there on our rice. And the next step, you're going to serve. So we're going to do the serving. That's why when you go to those 5-star restaurants, the meal are always like in portions. And the main reason why they're in portions, because they're measuring them. And today we're going to do our measurement with this lovely cup of ours. So get your cup and put your rice evenly inside your lovely cup. So we're going to do like a lovely shape. You're going to see our rice is going to come out with a very lovely shape, right? So you're saying that? So fill up your rice, and then when you filled it up nicely, you just using a normal rice serving spoon. You can use any type of spoon, and you just need to pat so that your base can be completely flat, like the way that is. You see that? It's completely flat, because that's what we need. Then the next step, let me do this because I'm not taking a picture of that, but no problem. Get your plate. Don't turn the rice round. You need your plate upside down. There's nothing on the plate. So it's easy for the plate to be the other way around rather than this. Because if you go this is going to pour. And that's what you're going to lose the shape you need. So take your plate and position your rice where you want your rice to be on the plate. I want my rice to be at the here. I want it to be at the top here. So I'm going to position that and place my plate like that. And then next, you're going to turn this round. So when you turn this round, you're not sure, oh, like, man, I didn't want it to be there. I wanted it to be there. It's not a problem. You can move it any which way you want to. And it should be able to move. What you just need to realize is, as you can see there, because I've moved my rice from one position to the other, I have a bit of a mess there. So you can use your cleaning stuff. You can use your tissue and you just clean that off nicely, because remember, we're doing our 5-star presentation, so we need that to be really nice on point. So that's nice there. Not in a hurry to remove that, so I'm going to go ahead and serve everything else. Well, that is still covered, and that is going to be the last thing to actually move out of here. So I'm just gonna turn that around, so when I'm doing my fish and when I'm doing my vegetables, it's not actually really nice and messy. So the next thing, if you don't have a small bowl, you can invest on something like that. Yes, it is just a nice small serving bowl. If you don't have that, you can just get a bowl. Yeah, just a normal bowl. But I'm not using a normal bowl. I'm using this type of bowl. And the main reason why I'm showing you this bowl is because I want to serve my stew. Most of those restaurants, again, when you go there, it depends with what type of meal you're having. Most of the meals, you realize you'll have your lovely sauce on the side, you will not have your lovely sauce on the meal. And the main reason why they do that, they're just giving you a chance or an option for you to, do you really want that sauce? Maybe not, maybe you do want the sauce. So it's up to you how you're going to spread your sauce on your meal. So let's go ahead and serve our sauce on here. I am looking for my soup spoon. So, got my soup spoon, and I'm going to go on this lovely thick curry sauce, and I'm going to serve it in here. It's really nice and thick, just exactly the way we want it. And that's how it looks like. As you can see, I can't put this down, it's going to pour. And I am going to put this. Now this is where people always wonder, okay, should I put it on the plate or should I put it? If you have a bigger plate, yes, you can put it on the plate. If you don't have a big plate, let me pull this a little bit low there. Yeah, there you go. So you'll be able to see that. So if you don't have a wider plate, we're having a bit of a shaky moment, we'll sort that out in a bit. You don't really have to put the sauce on the plate. The sauce can always go on the side of the plate. It's all right. It doesn't have to go on the plate. If you have a tiny plate, don't squeeze everything there. It's going to look too much. You don't want the person who's going to be eating that meal, looking at that meal and thinking, really? Did they think I'm that greedy? I want to finish all that? So you want to give that person a good appetite, for them to really look forward to eating that food in a way that when they look at the food, they're not overwhelmed with like how much serving is on their plate. So you can put your cereal on the side, and then we're going to go ahead and we're going to do our serving with our fish. So remember, our soup is there. Now we just need our fillet on there. So let's serve our fillet. Okay, I am using that spoon you use to cook your eggs, right? That's what I'm using to serve my fish. I'm going to just move this here for a second. I'm going to turn my plate around so that I can have enough space to mess around when I'm serving my fish. When they do this professionally, they always actually are really precise, because they've actually studied how to actually plate this fish on here. So we're just learning, right? So remember when I was telling you your fish doesn't really need long time to actually cook, and this is the reason why when it comes to serving it, you have to be able to remove it from your pan and put it on your plate without it breaking into two. And that's what we've just done, which is really, really amazing. So the next thing I'm going to do, I am going to take some of my lovely sauce, And I am just going to sprinkle it a little bit on my fish. Yes. And the main reason why you do that, so by the time this fish actually gets to the table, it doesn't look like it's so dry that the person about to eat is thinking twice, should I really eat that? Should I not? Right? So far we have our rice and our fish on our plate. You can see our fish, it is whole in there, which is amazing. So the next thing, you just realize I've left a small space here, and that's when I tell you the reason why I've left the small space there, it's for our vegetable. So remember, I've not removed my rice, because the main reason why I've not removed my rice, I want, when I'm putting my vegetable in there, it doesn't interfere with the shape of my rice. I remember all my rice the same shape that I originally intended it to be. So let's serve our vegetable. So I'm going to just use a normal spoon to go ahead, just a normal spoon. And I am going to serve my vegetable. Just take your time. Just take your time. The first time you do this, it's going to be, whoa, this is just too much work. But as you continue doing this, you will realize you're becoming really, really good at this. And you can do more than one serving in a row, because again, in those 5-star or 5-star restaurants where maybe you're having 5 or 6 meals, they're doing this frequently. So again, they're professionals, they're used to doing this. You're not, you're trying to do this. So take your time, be patient with yourself. It is not a competition. There you go. As you can see, my vegetable is nicely placed. You can see my lovely pea there is on the side. I can just remove that, put it on the side, or I can push it in, right? Next, we're going to remove our rice so that we can see how our rice looks like. Just take your time again when you're doing this. It's not a competition again, it is just us trying to make sure our rice is nicely shaped there. What I'm trying to do, I am trying to remove the small bits of rice on the side, which you don't really have to. But look at that. That is the shape of our rice. It's still intact all around. You can see that. Sorry, let me just move that. I just don't want to hit my plate on there. That's why. Yeah. So you can see that we were able to serve our vegetable. We were able to serve our fish. And that's still there without no problem. So now this is when it becomes really, really even more interesting. You can't just put the food there without like a sprinkle of something. You know, when on those menus, on again, those 5-star restaurants, when you go, it's just fish, rice, and vegetables. But the way they've actually put it down on the menu, you think that, I've never had that before. And then when they bring it right in front of you, you're thinking, ooh, that one looks really different. It's just that presentation. And again, it is just that little time they use to make it really, really nice and interesting. So, in Scotch Kitchen, we normally like using paprika. And I tend to use paprika when I'm cooking, and I use paprika also just as a presentation at the end. The main reason why I do that is paprika gives the food some oomph. And when you see, I've just shown you the food without paprika. Ooh, not good. Just touch my nose. Let me wash my hands. Okay. I don't know why my nose is itchy, but my nose is itchy today. Only if you can be able to put it aside for a second and then put it back when you're done. No problem. Anyway, so this is before paprika. Now I'm going to show you after paprika. So again, you don't really have to just use paprika. You can always use any other ingredients you wish to. Come on, paprika, where are you? Ooh, there you go. Come here. You can use parsley. You can use coriander. You can use paprika. You can use sesame seeds, which I'm going to use some of that as well. So you can use sesame seeds or sim sim as they call it back home. And with my sim sim, yeah, because today we are learning presentation, isn't it? I'm going to take a few of those seeds and I'm going to sprinkle them onto my fish. Yeah? I'm sprinkling it on my fish. So when I'm actually telling you what we're having tonight, I am going to tell you we are having curry fish with a sprinkle of sesame seeds. Really. It's just me putting sesame seed around my fish. And that's it. It's just as simple as that. But that little hint makes a big difference, yeah? So let's go on and use our paprika. So be gentle with your paprika. Don't go too wild about it. Sometimes less is more. And now that is the key thing here on when you're doing a presentation. So let's do that. So I normally tend to lift that a little bit higher and you sprinkle. The main reason why you lift it a little bit higher and you sprinkle, the higher it is, the bigger circumference or surface it actually spreads. If you put it low like that, so that's your plate and you put there and you sprinkle like that, you realize you're using more. But if you move your spice, like the way I'm using my paprika, I've lifted it up and I've sprinkled. Actually, I've covered a big area, but to use just sprinkles, just the way they call it, a sprinkle of paprika, a sprinkle of sesame seed, and that's the whole idea, right? So, I'm still sprinkling. I'm actually done with my sprinkling, and that is how it actually looks with the sprinkles. So you can actually see the difference, the before and after that we've actually done. So, what I'm going to do now, I am going to turn the camera around for you guys to be able to see our serving. So before I do that, let me just do a bit of cleanup here so that you can be able to see our complete serving. Whoop. There you go. Because I have some paprika here on the surface and that's what I want to get rid of. And I want to do something else. I want to get some of this sauce onto here. I feel really nice and professional today. Really nice and professional. But I'm happy that I'm able to share with you guys this so that you guys can know how to actually present your food. Most of you by now, since you started following Scotch Kitchen, you should know how to cook. But now we're going to be learning how to do the presentation, and today we've just done one lesson of a simple presentation. So I'm going to go around, get the camera closer, turn the camera around for you guys to be able to see what we've actually prepared today. So our today's meal was, Purity Washira. My paprika is never sweet. Purity, which kind of paprika are you using, my lovely? It depends, because you have different types of paprika. There's hot paprika and there is just plain paprika. So, as you can see, there is my fish fillet, and it has a sprinkle of the sesame seed and the paprika. At the end there, we have our rice, again, with that lovely shape. So it's a white coconut, or you can say just coconut rice with a white coconut rice with a sprinkle of paprika. And then we have our vegetable there. So you can say you're having a mixed vegetable. Rather than you naming each and every vegetable there, you can just say you have your mixed vegetable steamed up and drizzled with chili infused olive oil, and then lastly infused with paprika. Drizzled with paprika. And that's our lovely sauce, our curry sauce that we actually put separately. So again, and that is how our meal today looks like. So, guys, let me just mount back our camera up here, because remember, most of the cameraman isn't it? Yeah, let's lower it a bit. And let's move this baby aside, because it's hurting my eye. So, guys, Washira Purity, did you answer? Purity, there's different types of paprika. We're having a little bit of a shake. Let the shake finish. I am just using just the plain paprika. Most likely Purity, this is what you're using. I am master of paprika, so I have all types of paprika with me. Purity, just check if you're using your spicy paprika. If you're using spicy paprika and you're not used to that spiciness, stop using that to sprinkle on your meal just before it's actually eat. You can use just a plain paprika, which is just a plain paprika, and that is what you can use instead. We have smoked paprika. So we have smoked paprika. I don't use my smoked paprika to at the end of my meals. I actually cook my meals with my smoked paprika. I don't use my spicy paprika on my food when I'm sprinkling it the way I've just sprinkled it. I use my spicy paprika when I'm actually cooking. I use my plain paprika onto here. Again, you can use chili granules on here. You can use chili, just a red chili, and you can just sprinkle that as well. And if somebody loves their food really spicy, they will definitely enjoy that. So go ahead and try these lovely presentations that we've done today. I hope you've enjoyed that, because I've really enjoyed your time with me today. So just go there and try doing this presentation. Be patient with yourself and take your time, because a day at a time is how we learn. So don't be in a rush. I didn't wake up one day and I was able to do this. No, I learned with time. So take your time as well, and you should be able to do this. I hope you've enjoyed our fish curry, the preparation of our fish curry, and also our mixed vegetable and our rice. And I hope you're going to try this at home. So guys, thank you very much for joining in. I hope you're enjoying yourself. Remember, we are now actually preparing meals for Scotch Kitchen in Kenya. The other team for Scotch Kitchen is already in Kenya, and they are doing that. So if you have like a party, if you have like a private event, or you just want somebody to come to your home and actually prepare for food for you with your few guests, or just advise you on what kind of foods you can cook and things like that, just get in touch with us. Our contacts are on our page, because now we have both our page and we have our group. I hope you'll be able to follow us up. We also have our YouTube channel. You can subscribe to that, so you will always have these lovely videos throughout for you to be able to follow up and watch whenever time you want to. With that said, I have to go now because the boys are really hungry. Purity says, I've not seen them in my nearby supermarket. Maybe you can donate. Purity, if you've not seen them in your nearby supermarket, what I can advise you to do is go to like your local market. You should be able to find these spices in your local market. Unfortunately, I cannot donate because I'm not a charity, darling. I have not reached to that extent where I can actually donate. So when I get to that part of donating, I can just advise you where you can get it. But unfortunately, I cannot donate because I am not in that state of to be able to donate, like when donating to a charity and things like that. So Purity, what you need to do, inbox me exactly where you are, and I'm going to try and find out for you exactly where you can find your paprika. I am sorry that I cannot be able to donate for you the paprika, but I can advise you where you can be able to get paprika. And I'm sure if you really want to use the paprika, you'll be able to follow my lead and be able to get it. Okay guys, I have to go now because my boys are really hungry, and today is Sunday, tomorrow is Monday, back to reality. So we have to actually have our dinner, do our homework, and do the rest of the stuff. Thank you very much for joining in today. I hope I'm going to see you again very soon in more videos of learning how to cook, doing a presentation and things like that. Thank you very much, and do have a lovely week. Bye bye.